I'd like to now invite our next speaker, His Grace Balimardan Prabhu, who's also our organizer today. So Balimardan Prabhu has been living in the United States, a very active educator. He and his wife, Anand Vrindavan Mataji, have been very active, and they're running various programs in his various services to the ministry. One of the service that Balimardan Prabhu performed for a few years is as a regional representative in West United States. Okay, it's a bit of a tongue twister, but yes, Western United States. And in his service, Prabhu has been very diligent, very responsible in ensuring that he presents his reports, stays in touch with the ministry, and we have recently requested now Balimardan Prabhu to actually take on a service to help us expand the regional representative network for within the Ministry of Education. Just a very quick brief. The ministry has regional representatives, a few right now, which you can see on our ministry website. There is a certain service description they must perform, and that is essentially a two-way communication between the ministry and the local yatras or regions. We are looking for more regional representatives. I'm talking to the point that Hanumat Prashekar Maharaj was mentioning earlier. But we also require somebody who is able to coordinate this activity. I've recently requested Balimardan Prabhu to play that role. Balimardan Prabhu is now accepted that service. He will be coordinating, managing, and in terms of reporting of the regional representatives, staying in touch with them, sharing with them what's happening, and overall creating proper structure around a regional representative program. Those devotees here who are interested to become part of it in their regions, in their countries, they may please contact him or the ministry. The process is we do talk to the local management, the GBC, and the regional management before we appoint a regional representative. So Balimardan Prabhu is going to talk about the regional representative program, and he's also going to share with us a surprise offering today that the ministry is offering to all the educators, especially those who are engaging in Shastik program. Balimardan Prabhu, thank you, and over to you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Can you hear me and see my presentation?
We can hear you loud and clear, and the presentation is crisp.
Very good. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki, thank you. So thank you very much, Tapan Mr. Prabhu and ministry's entire governing body for allowing me to serve in the capacity. And just for introductions, I'm here, and thank you for the online Gurukul and other presenters we did. I know my wife also run Little Krishna Kids here, as well as Navadeep program in ISKCON Silicon Valley. So today I will be presenting on the collaborative networking, and it gives us a systematic thinking in terms of how the collaborative thinking, networking, mixing, interacting with the devotees, not only in the one culture, but it helps. In professional career, it says the homogeneous system will bring immediate result. For example, if you are meeting with same type of mentality people, same culture, same race, same language speaking, you may produce some immediate good result. But a heterogeneous system, which is ISKCON, is more diverse. We have from any Eastern region, Western region, different body color, different languages, different cultural background. Initially, it may be difficult, but in a long run, it really produces an impacting results. So when I was giving a little bit of quick snapshots here in 2019 or 2020 is mostly people remembered throughout their life for the pandemic virus. But nevertheless, the virtualization became the part of the game. As you know, VIPLAVAH has been an in-person conference in Mayapur, and we are today interacting and doing it via the Zoom call virtualizations because of this pandemic in-house cages. And then in 2021, not only that people are thinking how we do, rather than the scalable and the openness platform, as well as extend the network. Extend the network means those who are just preaching in their local region, preaching in their local temples and all, it has become like extended. They are producing some good contents which is used, adapted by various different centers, as well as also it is becoming global. So from Pan-American, the leadership team here from ministry, we have also very interactive model. We have also very engaging system. And at the end, I'm thinking by 2023, we'll have a sustainable program for the ministry, just like we are bringing a platform where every devotee's inspirations, their innovations coming to manifest, and people around the world is to adapt it to make sure that we serve Prabhupada in a very systematic manner. As we know, the online enablement has been a key factor, and it is really bringing values to the people around the globe. So, as Prabhuji mentions about the regional representative collaborations, I'm not going to technical details about what we are going to do, which definitely will set up something, but I wanted to set a stone, have a conceptual base. That means what exactly the connections of the regional representative or the local representative or a global one. Nothing happens without being togetherness, without being collaborations. That means Utsahan Nishchaya Dharya, Tat Tat Karma Pravartan, and nectar of instruction starts with this, and which comes with the teamwork. Teamwork, collaboration, shared values is very, very important, because sometimes we think whatever I'm doing, in ISKCON also there are many various projects and initiatives are going, but we are again and again doing something similar and investing the time and energy in the same thing, which has the result or the research work has been produced. And ministries, our job is to sharing those outcomes so that people don't need to again reinvent the wheel. They can really take from there and they can go further onwards instead of again bringing the same results. Because research is moving step 1 to step 2 to step 3, not to again remain in step 1 always and bringing different things. So that means that we have to make sure that we overcome the level of the ego, level of the subconsciousness, and adopt what is the system, what is the results is available in the market, levels available by other our stakeholders, different temples in the different regions, different systems in around the ISKCON. So we just need to learn what is already there and what I can get it. And based on that, this collaborations method, just like VIPLAVAH, we conducted the Sastrik Sammelan last year. This give to sharing our values, to making sure that we are collaborating each other. Because unless we open ourselves, we collaborate, nothing informations will flow between the two individuals or two organizations. So, and not only that, as I'm mentioning to you, one important part is, what is that? Is in the, you may know the king of this jungle is lion, right? So in the jungle, lion, tiger, they are the king. Just like we are Brahmin. Brahmins means we are very powerful. We are just collecting means we are learning shastras, we are teaching people. So we have very finer intelligence in us. But in Kali Yuga, just imagine, a lion is also killed by wild dogs, a hyena. Because of 10 or 20, they can attack it. What gives us these impressions to all? What it gives this? The only part it gives us the impressions to all of us is one Chaitanya Charitamrita shloka, which talks about Tathapi Bhakta Sangha hai Sukhollasa. Bhakta Sangha kare Nitya Vibhida Vilasa. Association is the best form of happiness. And another verse Chaitanya Charitamrita mentioned, Ananta Sakti Madhye Krishnera Tina Sakti Pradhan. Ichha Sakti, Jnana Sakti, Kriya Sakti. The willpower, the power of knowledge, and the creative energy. Because these three combinedly brings good result. Sometimes people may have willpower, but they do not have the system knowledge. They don't have the skills. They don't have the necessary tools to advance in their willpower system. And even though there is no creative energy in this age, you will be falling down. Maybe 2 years he'll progress, he'll fall down. So two moral of the story is that even though we may be advanced in Shastras, even though we may be a great teacher, even though we may be learned through the all Bhagavatam, memorize everything, nevertheless, still we should aspire to remain united. We should aspire to remain, no matter what our differences, we need to remain united, because that will be Sangha Sakti, Sangha Sakti. In Kali Yuga, that has been the message. So now, why I'm saying these things? The reason, because as we are know, we have Varnashram system in ISKCON, we have different ashramas. It goes from one step to another, from brahmachari, go to Banprastra, sannyas ashram, grihastha ashram. We have various systems. So in order to really comprehend from the mind, likely how, as we developed the Pan-American universities, open university, which I'm going to share a few things in a minute. Here you can see the collective intelligence, which is coming from the Brahminical values, or a common purpose, or when we are writing down something, likely these are the Kshatriya tendency, or a collaboration, is it? So this Varnashram system is inherently embedded in our consciousness. Just like, Ravana has 10 head. When Ravana has a 10 head, one head is a Brahminical head. One head is an enjoyment of, different varieties of things. One head is a demoniac head. That means the 10 mind is there in Ravana. So similarly in the Kali Yuga, we all of us has different sets of mind. We need to prominent the Brahminical mind. And that's why, and by doing that, by enabling that educational system, bringing different learning methods, learning techniques, so that people are interested and inspired and adopt those principles. So I'm very happy to announce and also share here, as Tapan Mr. Prabhu mentioned, and so I was talking to him last year to bring some, collaborative methods for the devotees. And I will tell you my stories here. But before that, we have in Pan America, which is especially Latin America, South America, and North America mix. We have various people like Gandharva Prabhu, myself, Gopigita Mataji, Mitravinda, and there are so many devotees around, including Hanumat Prashad Maharaj and Sesa Prabhu is based out here. We used to conduct our meetings, understand things. Last year also, we really set up various meetings. And no matter there is no agenda, but at least a meeting to something, it gives us very connections. We do not lose gap. Personal touch is very important. And also current support structure. We not only meet, we also had a call, the teachers webinar or teachers meeting. Just 4 months ago or 6 months ago, I set up 23 or 24 teachers around North America. They joined it. So just when I took the charge also for the regional secretary for North America, we have very unstructured system of, there are Bhakti Shastri here and there doing. Right now, my goal is to every temple should run a Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti VIPLAVAH center. And we are allowing, and not only allowing, we're inspiring the devotees to be a teacher, to get the certification, get the online TTC program, learn the things, get certification for Bhakti Shastri. And if you have qualified and nobody is there, you should become, so that we can bring more people, those aspiring devotees, to learn the Shastras. So there are a lot more has happened. I don't want to give statistics a lot. And also we have a different Google form, which we periodically in a 6 months in a year take census, means understanding any concern, what is innovations has happened, bringing it together. And one thing I have noticed, why I decided to go for, this is called ISKCON PanAmericanEducations.org. Let me share. Okay. So in this system, you can see we have 10 plus, 15 plus. When there are institutes and devotees are there, everybody exactly brings their registrations process, they create templates or website, the methods of teaching, Hanumat Prashad Maharaj, and we had discussed, and also getting how to harmonize things, how to unify. So the Shastri teachers do not unnecessarily spend on logistics, administrative work, and if something is already there, they can get values from the, let me Can you still see my screen, which is the website here? Somebody.
We can see your website, yes.
Okay, good. So this is the website, and based on the time, I'm not going for too much. 5 minutes I will spend here in this website. This is called ISKCON Pan American Education, but ultimately it will be part of the ISKCON education because we are doing a prototype. So here there are likely courses from location, courses degree, courses by instructions, and some of the programs which is Pada Padma for Bhagavatam Canto 1 and 2. So in terms of little bit of navigations of the course by locations wise, let's see. Then you can see there are various centers and the teachers in each of the centers, just like we had Ramacharya Prabhu, he was there presenting with St. Louis Center, and there are also from the other areas who would be coming up and giving the teachers leadership. So we are going to add it. So that gives a system that how the particular sections of people would be able to get benefit. Anyone wants to enroll into Bhakti Sastri or Bhakti Baba program, we made a registration process simple, and also it will be centralized. But now the question is, when many people have developed to some extent, I would propose to, board examinations and Tapan Mr. Prabhu subsequently when you on board, it should be a mandatory when you award any centers, they must really follow certain guidelines and standardizations. So here, this is one example I give you how each of the centers or their centers, and then you will be able to go through each of their, for example, it needs the user ID and password. If you wanted to go through the particular centers, and you need to create an user ID password in order to make sure that the Bhakti Sastri, the module tools has been used. And you can see from Nectar of Instructions or for Isopanishads, Nectar Devotions, whatever the courses has been done and how much progress has been done. There are some announcements and various things which has been managed by the teachers, which will be here. For my courses, the students can also see their courses and they can grade. The teachers can also do their grading, etc. here in this particular one. And different modules wise, they will be able to also make sure that they are providing announcement, recordings, and some contents, PDF files, sharing some of the information. So it has various tools when you navigate each of these sections. So it has the you can go to ISKCON panamericaeducation.org Moodle, and from there also there is a link. I directly come over here, and if you go to a sample Bhakti Sastri one, in the sample one you will be able to create. Sample means then you'll be able to create for your own. So we have provided a template, so you create your own course structure for the Bhakti Sastri, and you adapt to customize in case of what classes, which day you wanted to do. You can maintain your schedule and things like that. So this is a very important part for the teachers to manage the Moodle, because ultimately some of the teachers are very competent, they have their own system and somebody else, but we wanted to make a centralized form so that everybody can communicate each other and all the students can also share each other any concern, any questions, clarifications they wanted to learn from each other. And then I wanted to go to one more area in 1 second, and then I will stop doing things. So sorry, what is the one I wanted to go? Services, okay. So if I click on here, services, there is a portion called, in the services we have other services. You can enroll as a student, can become an educator. When you click and become an educator, many of the things you directly go to ISKCONeducation.org because it is well integrated here. And there is a certification, Shastri classes, register your center. There are many people who are going through all the form, email, so they can directly register your center to become a Bhakti Shastri and also submit new idea. I'm just taking 1 second here. There are thousands of questions. We are right now in the process of creating the sample quiz. So please, I will be going here just on and off. Please don't judge the answers. I'm making pop very fast. So it gives on the bottom 9-10 minutes. You have to fill up these questions, and at the end also it will show you, and just putting yes, no, and then just moving forward. Then it will show me the meaning controllers which conveyed Srila Prabhupada advocates. These or anger is Lord is serious, let's say. Tongue cannot control. Writing only prasadam. Okay, so when you put it, the 10 questions are there. This is one example. We're going to bring at least Nectar of Instruction, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. All the sample quiz would be there for the devotees to get. So automatically it will send a report, and it will show here, okay, your score is 40%, is completed in 54. And also at the end, you will be able to see what is right one as a green and what you did wrong as a red. And then you will be able to come and redo the quiz. So there are various quiz we are going to give, bring it here, but I don't like to go in each of the section. And there is also email sent a report to me, and I would be able to see. Plus, there are also interactions between various devotees and various users who would be interacting through this portal, and it will be used through the, and ultimately it will be going this year, moving into ISKCONeducation.org. So we have finished our prototype. I am happy. I presented to Tapan Mr. Prabhu. He seems to be happy. So we are going to migrate to ISKCONeducation.org. So there are various other tools based on the time. I would pause here and take some questions and then move forward. So let me stop sharing. Okay.
Thank you, Balimardan Prabhu. Hare Krishna. We don't have any questions per se at the very moment. So we can use a couple of minutes. Just to be clear, the Ministry of Education does not intend to run its own separate version of a Bhakti Shastri program, a Bhakti VIPLAVAH program like that. We are facilitators, and the effort that is being put by the ministry here is to provide a platform where individual educators or institutions can utilize this facility. As Balimardan Prabhu described, many educators individually may not have the resources. So when we started discussing this project 2 years back, the genesis was, can we provide a resource to the teachers who may otherwise not be technically so savvy, something that they can utilize to start their educational programs online. Obviously, as things mature, then they can continue to do so many other initiatives. So this is just a facility, a collaborative facility for the educators. So there is a question, when can we accept your website to be accessible to all centers of ISKCON?
So this website is accessible to all centers of ISKCON right now. What I meant to say is that we are going to, it was exclusively meant for Pan America. That means not used for India or Europe, but I will be working with Tapan Mr. Prabhu. Maybe it will take at least a couple of months to migrate to ISKCONeducation.org, and it will be available globally.
Our target was to actually have this available to devotees globally by the symposium, which was to be conducted in Gaur Purnima. We faced several hiccups, as you can imagine. So yes, that's the idea. But please bear in mind, we don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. As you have seen, that it is still at its very nascent stage, the platform. There is a lot of energy being put in by Balimardan Prabhu, and we still have several other steps to take to make it more user-friendly, allow resources, etc., to come in like that. So yes, this was a prototype. The prototype is now being actively used. More devotees are being brought up. We'll be testing it further and then making it available to devotees for using. But please feel free to participate right away, because every person who participates will allow us to refine this service. Isn't it, Balimardan Prabhu? The more devotees
Yes.
who participate, it allows
Yes.
us to refine this service as an offering. Okay, let's see if there are. Next question, Prabhu, from Pradeshwar Krishnadas. Thank you for your wonderful presentation. Whether Bhakti Shastri course you conduct covered under Mayapur Institute?
Okay, let me clarify. So I am not conducting here about Bhakti Shastri. So we are in a ministry, we facilitate entire Bhakti Shastri in the world. And Mayapur Institute, Vrindavan Institute of Higher Education, Bhaktivedanta College, Govardhan Eco Village, they are awarding the certificates under one umbrella. Likely federal system has many institutes. So there are various colleges in one university. So as a ministry, we wanted to facilitate all the centers are at least connecting centrally so that the students, the teachers are collaborative, and everything frequently asked questions, question banks would be systematically developed there. That's the reason. So it is also, Mayapur Institute is also one institute which is providing Bhakti Shastri as an autonomous center. And we are facilitating the whole activities for certification program. Do you want to add anything, Tapan, Mr. Prabhu?
No, Prabhu, you've covered it. I mean, there could be more added, but let's wait and see if there are other questions. The next is a comment or a question. It seems that Asia is neglected when it comes to Bhakti Shastri course. Question mark, why?
So I'm not sure why Asia is neglected, but we are encouraging here in America from the GBC perspective. Srila Prabhu, we have asked him to send across to all the North American leadership team to encourage in their temple, to the temple presidents, to the local GBC, to encourage the devotees to take Bhakti Shastri course. So it should be applicable to Asia also. There should not be any exception. And we also encourage the disciples, the devotees should really go for, and also it is a mandated to take a Brahmin initiation. You need to really go through a Bhakti Shastri course. So it is not neglected.
Okay, thank you. So few points of clarification. Actually, Asia has one of the strongest Bhakti Shastri program presence, especially India. If you look at the Mayapur Institute, the Vrindavan Institute, Bhaktivedanta Vidyapeeth, immense amount of education, Bhakti Shastri education being provided now in Bangladesh. So I'm not sure why somebody has this impression that why this is neglected, but very, very popular. If you were to look at the 10,000, 12,000 Bhakti Shastri so far in ISKCON, the largest number will be in Asia. But what we're trying to do, and this goes back 2 years to VIPLAVAH 2019 in Mayapur, where Aniruddha Prabhu made a presentation, which I requested him, where every temple would be an oasis for education. So every temple must become an examination center. We are at 7:30 India time, and we must try to keep time and honor our commitment. So if there are further questions, please do send them to us. I do want to share with you, first of all, a thank you to everybody who attended. And before you go, we do have later in today's session, today we'll have another session, we have 4 devotees who are going to come forward, and very powerful educators who are going to come forward and speak to you. The symposium will begin with Srila Prabhupada's address, followed by Her Grace Urmila Mataji, who will address us on philosophies of education and its importance in ISKCON. Then we'll have Balram Leela Prabhu, who will talk about the importance of Vaishnava libraries. We have an educator from South America who will come and speak to us about foreign language barriers and how to develop education in countries where you may not be speaking English. And then we have a unique contributor in the form of His Grace Vidwan Gauranga Prabhu, who will talk about Chatushpatis or Gurukuls, which are started in every different parts by individual Brahmanas. So I look forward to your participation in the evening session. And I do want to mention that we are trying still now, I have to check with our organizers. There was an attempt to have a breakout session. I think the technology probably is still not ready. Balimardan Prabhu, is that the case? Are you still working on the technology?
Yes, Roji, we can discuss offline because this will be to 7:30 p.m. So we'll have some time to address
All right.
it. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't realize it was 7:30 p.m.
Yeah.
There was some request. I had requested for a breakout at 7:30 a.m. We apologize. We will organize it probably tomorrow or this evening. We're working on it. Thank you everyone for joining us, and please come back with full enthusiasm 12 hours, or actually what is it, 10 hours from now, if your time zone still permits, for the next session of VIPLAVAH 2021. I'd like to offer my obeisance to all who participated. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavabhyo namo namaha. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and his transcendental books. And if you have any questions with respect to Bhakti Shastri, etc., we have published an information bulletin on our YouTube channel, which talks about the system, Bhakti Shastri system. Thank you, and see you all again at 5:30 p.m. India time. If you can, please join us 5 minutes earlier. Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.